Today we will be discussing chapter number 1, that is the nature of econometrics and the economic data. Basically, empirical economic analysis comprises of two steps, that is economic models and econometric models. These are the steps through which econometric analysis proceeds. Initially, we construct an economic model and then convert that economic model into an econometric model. And there are two steps involved in empirical economic analysis, which I have already discussed. First one is economic models and second one econometric models. Now coming towards economic model. In real world, we use models to understand the complex phenomena. In economics, we use models because real world economic phenomena are very complex. So we remove complexities and convert it into simple model that how things work. It also helps us in understanding complex phenomena. It could be from microeconomics or it could be from macroeconomics, such as you can say demand and supply framework, consumption functions, which means that consumption multipliers, etc. Simply, you can use optimization behavior model as well. For example, cost minimization and utility maximization, etc. Moreover, you can think of establishing relationships among different economic variables, such as here I have noted down Okun's law, which shows the relationship between economic growth and unemployment. Now coming towards this example, that how can we construct economic model, that is the first step of empirical economic analysis. The example we are taking here is economic model of crime, which is presented by a Nobel laureate Becker in 1968. He derived the equation for criminal activity based on utility maximization. And here the equation is y is a function of x1 plus x2 plus x3 till x7. This means that criminal activity is a function of all these variables. Here, y represents hours spent in criminal activities or time spent in criminal activities. Next variable x1 represents wage for an hour spent in criminal activity. Then comes x2, hourly wage in legal employment. Then comes x3, that represents income other than from crime or employment. Next, x4 represents probability of getting caught. x5 represents probability of being convicted if caught. x6 represents expected sentence if convicted, and in the end x6 represents the age. A criminal tries to maximize his utility being engaged in criminal activities, spending all the resources he has, such as skills, time, etc. And then it is defined by a function that his utility function is like the time being spent in criminal activities. We can call this an economic model. There are many variables involved here. As you are looking at this equation, there are so many variables. let's say y, then x1, x2 up till x7. A variable, uh, you can say that there are many variables involved here. A variable that is dependent and is a function of other variable. In economic model, you also get a set of variables that are linked with one another. One important thing to observe here is that in this model, there is no functional form defined that how these variables are linked. For example, either they are positively linked or they are negatively linked. You don't know the link. If one variable, you can say that if one variable is changing by 1%, then how much the change is recorded in another variable. So these type of links are not exactly mentioned in this equation. So you need a functional form so that you can observe and record the amount of change. Economic model do not have the functional form. Equation could have been postulated without economic modeling. Even if we skip this part, that is the economic model, we can still construct a model between these variables. In econometric analysis, where two steps are involved, that is economic model and econometric model, and if the first step, that is the economic model, if it's skipped, and it is mostly skipped because we can do the second part without going through the first one. Now coming towards the econometric model, again we have taken the same model, that is model for crime. Here the functional form has been specified and variables may have to be approximated by other quantities as well. First we define the functional form and then we think how to measure each variable. For example, taking Becker's model of criminal activity. Uh, the mathematical form of this equation tells you that crime is equal to some components. And here is the equation written. Crime is equals to beta naught plus beta 1 wage m, beta 2, beta 3, beta 4, some another variable, beta 5, beta 6, and mu. This mu represents the error term. Now here crime represents a measure of the frequency of criminal activity. Wage, this one, represents the wage that can be earned in legal employment. OTHINC is the income from other resources, that is assets, inheritance, and so on. FREQARR represents the frequency of arrests for prior infractions to approximate M, the probability of arrest. Then comes the frequency of conviction and then the average sentence length after conviction and then the age. It tells that how dependent variable is linked with independent variable. This is a specified mathematical form. Let's say we call it a econometric model. Now we will start linear regression model. After that, you will know the terms beta used in criminal activity model here. Here the equation is yi is equals to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2I plus beta 3 x3I up till beta k xki plus mu I. Y is referring to that this y is not a single variable, rather it is a series. So y is a full series or a column. That's why there is subscript I mentioned with y. We use capital letters for representing variables and subscripts refers to specific values. Here representing ith value of y variables. Similarly, x is another variable and I refers to the ith value of x variable. This is x2 variable and then ith value. This is the general form with k variables. You can write it in short form such like this: yi is equals to beta x plus mu I. Here instead of writing subscripts, just bx is mentioned. It is representing one vector or matrix and x is representing all x variables, or you can say all x's, and beta x represents all these combinations, and mu I is a separate term, that is the error term. Or you can say that y is the regressant, x is a vector of regressors, and mu is an error term. Terminology for simple regression. We use terminology y as dependent variable and x as independent variable. But different fields of social sciences use different terminologies or names. When we say y a dependent variable, then x is independent variable. And when y is explained variable, then x is explanatory variable. When y is known as response variable, then x is control variable. When y is predicted variable, then x is predictor variable. And when y is regressant, then x is regressor. All these terminologies are relevant because in economics we see how one variable is dependent on another and how one variable is explained in terms of other variable. So we use terms explained and explanatory variables. Sometimes you want to predict something, so you use some predictor variables and then look at the predicted variable. In short, there are two major variables, y and x. One is placed on one side of the equation and the other represents the other side of the equation. So that's all from part 1 of lecture 1, covering chapter number 1.